Any of you men realize that your major problem with women is that you can't figure out whether or not to go literal or figurative? And you almost always do the wrong one?
That's great. That's great.
Any question about this? You can't ever tell. No way to tell.
Just make the distinction of literal, or simply make the distinction in my communication of literal, figurative, that they're...
Hold on. Now we're going to teach you something really quickly here.
Go ahead. Okay.
I need you to spit out your gum,
Okay.
because it'll just make you dumber. Some people make smarter, but I tell you, I will spend almost no time talking to a cow that's chewing its cud because it's already occupied. When you say literal, you should be literal. When you say figurative, you should be figurative. And you missed that opportunity.
Okay.
So if you're going to use a sentence, say a sentence,
All right.
and it's going to have the word literal in it, and it's going to have the word figurative in it, you need to represent each as what it is.
Okay.
Now watch. This is where humor comes in. Ready?
Okay.
Literal. Figurative. I just reversed them. And it becomes funny. Literal. Figurative. And now I've got the woman's attention.
Yeah.
Get it? But you didn't do that. You barged through the whole sentence being literal about literal and literal about figurative. Thus not delineating that literal and figurative actually have this inborn definitional difference that Bernard doesn't give a rat's ass about.
And how it comes out of the mouth. Or did
And how your body doesn't change. And how you don't offer something else, which is the variation that indicates that you know the difference between literal and figurative somewhere other than intellectually. You missed that. God said, "Do you want a roller coaster ride this morning?" And you said no. Because I'll tell you, all you need to do is wake up in the morning and go, literal, figurative, literal, figurative, literal, figurative. And you won't need coffee. Because you've just given yourself play. You guys, how many of you got that I was doing something different for each one? I'm softening and repeat after me. And make it really soft and open and don't know and let go. Figurative.
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 Now make it really focused and laser-like.
Figurative.
And that's the joke.
literal?
Literal.
Literal.
Literal. And you
Literal.
zoom in.
Literal.
Figurative and you zoom out. Figurative. Figurative gets you off the hook. On a different hook. By the way, you're never between hooks for long. Get it?
Yes.
That is a present for you. The problem is we spoke sentences before we understood words. Because the difference between literal and figurative, if we miss that difference, we miss showing up in the present. I can't figure out if a woman is literal or if she's figurative. And I'll tell you, it's enough to undercut my safety if I think she ought to be literal right about now and she ends up being figurative right about then. Because then I don't know what to do. But then if I need her to be figurative and I'm figural, and she ends up if you ever feel any way like that with a woman, other than that with a woman, you're pretending.
If I feel like that with a woman, I'm tuned in.
If you're, yes, exactly. Because that's where they all live. And the only reason they live there and we live somewhere else is that they're luckier than us at every turn. And part of them being lucky is that they've been oppressed for thousands of years, and we haven't been that lucky.
Give it 13,000 years.
It'd have to start though, and it hasn't started yet.
Jerry, could you define those two?
Literal means very specific, saying exactly what you mean, like you have a tumor in your head. Figurative means more like poetry, open. That is the most incredible tumor I've ever. I just can't even. I can't capture it. Notice that your mind has a tendency to do one of those over another one. Now, I don't know you well enough to know which one your mind does. Now, take the lesson and make it literal and then make it figurative. Notice how much more it gets in when you make it literal and then figurative and go back and forth between the two. You have to be able to go back and forth. It doesn't matter what two. We're just using literal and figurative as opposites. We've never used literal and figurative. You know, she threw that out. I didn't throw that out. But I'm more than willing to run with it. This is back to last night when you kept on saying what was true. I'll run with whatever you say. It doesn't matter to me. Because I know it can all run. And I know it's all going where we need to go. I just don't know where that is. You do.